Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for GRE. We have been solving GRE math problems out of this book here, the official guide to the revised GRE, the second edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we're about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 244. Please turn to it. Page 244, and today is our lesson number 354. These problems that you see there on page number 244 are the exact same problems that appeared in the first edition of the revised GRE. We have already solved every single math problem from this book. If you're interested in watching the original solution to the problem, you will find the original solution on day number 147. Let's see what we can do here. Problem number 11 is what we're going to do here. It says Kathleen's weekly salary was increased by 8%. Alright. So we are told that the salary went up by 8% to 237.60. All right, to 237.60. And the question simply is, most likely, what was the original salary? What was her weekly salary before the increase? What was the original salary? What was the original salary? Well, let's find out, shall we? So we are told that after she got the increase of 8%, her new salary is $237. So this $237 represents 108% of her original salary. This $237.60 here, $237.60 represents, how much spell represents 108% of her original salary. All we have to do now is to convert this sentence into an equation. That's all. So let's do that, shall we? 237.60 represents means equals 108%. 108%. Percent means over 100. Percent means over 100. Of means times. Of means times. Or multiply. Her original salary. Her original salary. Let's call that X for the unknown. There you go. There is our equation. All we have to do is simplify this equation. That's all. Rather, solve this equation. Let's multiply both sides of the equation by 100 so that we can get rid of this 100 from the bottom, shall we? Multiply this side by 100. Multiply this side by 100. So this 100 cancels out with this 100 now. And what we end up with 108x. 108x equals 237.60 times 100 is just going to be 237.60. That's it. All we have to do now is to divide both sides by 108, which is exactly what we're going to do now. There is no need to pick up the calculator. Okay, just stay with me. There is no need to reach for the calculator every few seconds. Let's see what we can do here, shall we? Well, first thing we notice here is that the last two digits of this number is 08, which is just 8. And the last two digits of this number is 60. Long time ago, we have learned all those things. So nothing is new. We are not learning anything new. We have learned all of this stuff in our previous lessons. What we learned long time ago was that, I need the room here. Let's put it here. What we learned is that a number is divisible by 4 if its last two digits are divisible by 4. One more time. A number, it says a number is divisible by 4 if its last two digits are divisible by 4. We only have to worry about the last two digits. We don't have to worry about any of the other digits because this is the 100 digit. Any multiple of 100 is 100 is divisible by 4, which means 700 is divisible by 4. 500 is divisible by 4. 1000, any multiple of 1000 is divisible by 4. We just have to look at the last two digits. I see 60 here, we see 8 here, which means we can divide both sides by 4. Let's do that, shall we? We're going to divide both sides of the equation by 4. But this is very straightforward. We already know how many 4s in 108. Well, 100 has 25 4s because we know there are 4 quarters in a dollar. And there is 8 more here, which means it's going to be 27. But let's do it out anyway. So how many 4s in 108? How do we do it? How many 4s in a 1? 1 has no 4s. That 1 goes and joins the 0 becomes 10. How many 4s in a 10? 10 has 2 4s. 2 4s are 8. The remaining 2 goes and joins the 8 becomes 28. How many 4s in a 28? 7 4s are 28. 7 4s are 28. We have to divide this side by 4. How many 4s in a 0? 0 has no 4s. This 2 goes, how many 4s in a 2? 2 has no 4s. This 2 goes and joins the 3 becomes 23. How many 4s in a 23? 23 has 5 4s. 5 4s are 20. The remaining 3 goes and joins the 7 becomes 37. How many 4s in a 37? 37 is going to have 9 4s. 9 4s are 36. 9 4s are 36. The remaining 1 goes and joins the 6 becomes 16. How many 4s in a 16? 16 has 4 4s. 4 4s are 16. And how many 4s in a 0? 0 has no 4s. Now we end up here at 27. We can no longer divide by 2 or 4 because this is an odd number. As soon as we hit an odd number, if you have to figure out an odd number is divisible by something, as soon as you hit an odd number, the very first thing we should ask ourselves is it divisible by 3? Let's find out, shall we? But 27 we know is divisible by 3. How can we figure out if this number is divisible by 3? What's the trick? How can we figure out quickly if a given number is divisible by 3? A number is divisible by 3 if what? What's the rule? If the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. If the sum of the digits of the number is divisible by 3, then the number itself is divisible by 3. For example, here we have 27. 27, the sum of the digit is 2 plus 7. 2 plus 7 is 9. Since 9 is divisible by 3, therefore 27 is divisible by 3, which of course we knew already because 27 is a very small number. We can see just by looking at it that it is divisible by 3. Is this number divisible by 3? Well, let's find out, shall we? We see a 9. 9 of course is divisible by 3, so that plays no role actually. All we have to look at these two digits. 5 plus 4 is 9 again, so that's divisible by 3, which means this number is divisible by 3. Let's divide both sides by 3, shall we? When we divide 27 by 3, we get a 9. Let's find out how many 3's in 5,940, shall we? How many 3's in a 5? 5 has 1 3. The remaining 2 goes and joins the 9 becomes 29. How many 3's in 29? 29 has 9 3's. 9 3's are 27. The remaining 2 goes and joins the 4 becomes 24. How many 3's in a 24? 24 has 8 3's. 8 3's are 24. How many 3's in a 0? A 0 has no 3's. Can we divide one more time by 3? Let's find out, shall we? We know we can divide this by 3. Here we see a 9, which of course is divisible by 3, and then we see 8 plus 1 is 9 again. So it's divisible by 3. Let's do one more round, shall we? So 9 is going to become 3. How many 3's in a 1? 1 has no 3's. That one is going to go and join the 9 becomes 19. How many 3's in a 19? 19 has 6 3's. 6 3's are 18. The remaining one goes and joins the 8 becomes 18 one more time. How many 3's in a 18? Of course 6 3's. 6 3's are 18. How many 3's in a 0? 0 has no 3's. Let's go one more time, shall we? Let's divide one more time by 3. This 3 is going to drop out, this is going to become 2, this is going to become 2, and then 3. There you go, that's our x. Our x equals 220. The question was, what was our original salary? What we're claiming is that our original salary is $220. Now, even if you're not going to do all this thing in the real exam, Even if you're not going to do all of this thing in a real exam, and if you feel that you want to reach for the calculator on the screen just to simply divide this number by 108, which is fine, which is perfectly fine, but still, I insist that while you're practicing on your own, just for practice, for the practicing purposes, for learning purposes, it does not hurt to do all of this thing. It makes you more comfortable with numbers. Most people have a great deal of fear dealing with numbers. They freeze. They reach for calculator every 2 seconds. Try to do as much as you can without the calculator while you're practicing. In the real exam, of course, you want to save time as much as you can. And if you want to simply put this 23,716 divided by 108, of course you can do that, obviously. But while you're practicing, it doesn't hurt to do all this thing. It may look silly, but trust me, it will build your confidence, it will build your mathematical skills. It will make you more comfortable with numbers. The last thing we need to do here, the last thing that is left here is to actually verify our answer, shall we? Let's verify it. So what we're claiming is that her original salary was $220, and then she got 8% increase, and as a result, her new salary became $237.60. Let's verify it, shall we? So $220 was her original salary that we're claiming. Let's add 10%. Let's add 10%. Why 10%? Because I don't know what 8% of 220 is, but I know what 10% is. 10% of 220 is 22. So that's 2, 4, and 2. That represents 110%. But she did not get a 10% increase. She only got an 8% raise. So we have to take away 2%. Minus 2%. What is 1% of 220? Well, 1% of 220 is 2.2. 2% is going to be 4.4. Subtract 4.4 from it, and you will get 0.6. Let's erase this 110 so you don't get confused here. 0.6. 11 minus 4 is going to be 7. This is going to become 3. Oh, there you go. 237.60 represents 108% of her salary. So it works. Our answer is correct. 220 is correct. Now, other way, if you didn't want to do all of the silly things, other way that you could have figured out 8% of 220 very simply and very quickly is to simply multiply 22 by 8. Just simply multiply 22 by 8. 8 2s are 16, carry 1. 8 2s are 16 again. There you go, 170. Which means this tells us, let's not do it here, it's going to confuse you. Let's do it here. 22 times 8 is going to give us 16 plus 1, 16, 17. This tells us that 8% of 220 is $17.60. 8% of, because what it is technically is this. It is not 22, it's actually 220. So we have a 0 here, and then this is not 8, this is technically 0.08. So we get a 0 at the end. So what we get at the end is 6 and a 0, because we have a 0 here. And then it's 0.08, so we have to move 2 decimal places. 1760 is 8% of 220. But you don't have to do it with decimal. It's quicker simply to multiply 22 times 8, and you just have to be smart enough to realize immediately that 1760 is the answer. 6, 1, 1760. Because obviously 8% of 220 is not going to be $1.76, and 8% of 220 is not going to be $176. It's 1760. 1760 plus the 220 plus the 1760 is going to give us 237.60. You see? I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.